RTX GTX GPUs RX RTX GTX GPUs RX RTX GTX GPUs RTX GTX GPUs RX RTX GTX GPUs RX RTX GTX GPUs RX RTX GTX GPUs X RTX GTX GPUs RX RTX GTX GPUs RX RTX GTX GPUs RX RTX GTX GPUs RX RTX GTX GPUs.
Woo! We made it. We made it. We're here. We're really here.
Hey guys, it's us.
It's really us. Welcome to Mining Roundtable live. All right, chump change.
We're gonna do it again.
We got to do it again.
Light around. Yeah, we're doing a redo. Can you do the snap thing?
Yep.
Has anybody got that?
No.
All right. So we were talking about the the whole LHR unlock scam that was going on and how it was a whole bunch of work for me. And yeah, it was basically I made a video, right? Obviously telling everybody about this whole, GitHub thing that we found. And it seemed, somewhat promising until I realized the guy made a bunch of hiccups. And then he dropped a YouTube channel with videos and there was more hiccups in there. And I was like, okay, so this is definitely a scam. And once I got so far invested, I felt like it was my duty to follow it through. So I just literally stopped everything I was doing to do what I could to help people, because I don't want anybody getting screwed from this. Because it's my first thought was 13-year-old kid bought a graphics card. You know what I mean? With this frickin' this paper route money or something, and he's trying to pay it off. You know what I mean?
Paper route is paying him $1,000 to buy a graphics card nowadays.
Monopoly money.
You never know. Hey, don't joke, man. That's how I saved all my money when I first started. Bought a house at 23, dude. I kicked ass. But dude, legit. So that's all I could think about. I'm like, this, somebody's gonna get scammed, and it's gonna be detrimental. It's gonna just. You know what I mean? I don't know. It really got to me. It kind of hit home a bit. So I was like, you know what? I got to do what I can do. I got to do something to get this guy. Because, that's just what we had to do. So thankfully, Yeti is just amazing. He is a freaking genius. That guy, holy hell. So anyways, if I didn't have him in our community, that'd be it. You know what I mean? It would have been almost impossible, because these hackers were no joke. They had a lot of stuff going on. If you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out, spread it around. It's really not even about me. It's just about the awareness of it, because there's a lot of people that downloaded it, and there is ways to get rid of it.
That date tomorrow? Was that date tomorrow? It was supposed to open?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
So ideally, that server could power on tomorrow, to see who it can nab.
So yes, because he has a somewhat of a disconnected server.
It's off, so it's not doing anything.
Yeah, we shut it off. So the people that already downloaded it, we can't stop them from unzipping it and
Mhm.
Yeah.
but all the ways to get it have been removed, which is cool. So like that's
Like
the whole
GitHub, stuff like
community.
that.
Yeah, everything's
Yeah.
been shut down. Like his server, not his server, his URL and GitHub and just everything he has. So that was a huge plus for the community. Everybody got that shut down after I started spreading the news about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I just hope for the best. I hope everybody is not foolish enough to do that tomorrow.
There's going to be somebody that there's going to be plenty of people. Like, come on, it's inevitable.
I know.
It's
I know.
inevitable.
Hey, natural
Yeah.
selection.
Yeah, right.
I threw a link in the chat to Chum Change's awesome video with Yeti. If you guys want to check it out, I watched the whole thing today. It's really cool, man. Yeti, super. Oh, I was like, man,
Dude.
this is a good guy to have on your side, huh?
He's
Yeah, right. Put
that
him in your
guy-
pocket.
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. Like just listening to him talk. Like I think I watched my own video 3 times just to understand everything he was saying, because it was just so in depth. Like there is so much to it, and I just don't even know where you would start if you're trying to get into that field. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know, blows my mind.
Yeah.
But what's up with you guys? What have you guys been up to this week?
Yeah. Hobbyist, what have you been up to? I mean, none of us have been the people's champion like Chum Change here, so.
No, not at all. Not at all. He's got the cape on. He's got the chest up.
Buddy.
But yeah, no, nothing too crazy. I've just been kind of rushing to get things done. As I was telling these guys before the show, the drop ceiling in the basement finally going in this week, which is awesome. So it's kind of been like a rush. Like I'm the type of guy that wants to get a million things done first before the next thing. So I was tying up some on and ends here and there, patching some holes. I upgraded in the mining room anything that would be in the ceiling. Because I was like, I don't want to have to deal with that after a drop ceiling, grids in place and stuff. So I did those 2 AC Infinity 8-inch fans. Huge difference. Don't tell Mike, but that was a told you so moment. And I had that water issue. On Sunday, and that was just painful. So I've been chatting with a bunch of people recently on just kind of all things to do. Some people had recommended that I had, it was moisture from the crazy different temperature differences that we've had recently, which is legit. Like one day it's 60, 65, next day it's 30. Okay. Some other people had said that it was because they were intake fans, they was pulling in water actually off of the vents that were dripping, like on the outside, they were dripping with water. So they're intake. So they were sucking some of that in, which is probably legit as well. So I'm probably going to take a lot of recommendations from the community and put some type of hood over top, like make something custom out of wood or some type of plastic or something like that over top of each of the vents. That looks good. It is on the outside of my house, so I have to keep that in mind. And there is 8 of them, so I have to keep that in mind too to make it look okay. But that was really my biggest kind of deal of this week, was just water in my mining room. Like it's like your worst fear. And
Oh yeah.
I got so lucky. If anybody watched the video, I don't expect these guys to watch my videos, but if anybody in the community watched my videos, most of it went on the octo miners. Like most of it hit the octo miners and went down the octo miners versus like an open frame rig, which would have been probably more detrimental. So yeah,
Right.
I had no issues. I mean, I'm lucky I was home and it wasn't, as I said in the video, I was lucky I was home and I heard it. And the second thing that was a huge blessing was my drop ceiling was supposed to go in a few days before that. So like it got rescheduled. Like what are the chances it gets rescheduled like afterwards? So yeah, it would have been, I mean, think of it. You would have had that water on top of your tiles. Where it would have gone before then. So I mean, as I said, like I almost cried when I saw water in my mining room. I'm not going to lie. It was just like, it was painful. So yeah, that's my week. What about you, Mike?
Well, DJ Mines just said he watches 100% of everybody's videos, so we don't we don't deserve you, man. You're too good.
No, he gives me a hard time if I don't release a video. He's like, I got nothing to do. Release a video.
So I'm pretty busy. You guys may have seen I built that 3090 Octominer rig, which
Yes.
is a beast. And I'll tell you this. I mean, I don't know if Chili's in here, but that Octominer was bent more than I thought it was bent. I had to use some serious like muscle strength to be able to bend it back to get those GPUs seated correctly. It's kind of a bummer. I don't know. It's a wonderful machine, but I don't know. Shipping leaves something to be desired, I think. So, but
Sure.
Awesome rig, 740 mega hash online for Ethereum on that. So I'm super pumped. And then wound up getting, I think I was telling you guys when we were doing one of our private chats, I wound up getting the Unicorn GPU, the white Strix 3090. So it was on Newegg at MSRP. So that's still in a box, but I'm pumped on that. And then I just been nonstop. My A4, I got 2 A4000s finally came. They're sitting in a box.
Nice.
And then I just ordered 5 A2000s from Lenovo because they have them up right now. So we'll see if those ship.
That's
so
awesome, man.
Full steam ahead, my dudes. And then I ran the extra circuit. But my biggest thing going forward, and you guys both know this, is figuring out what I'm going to do in the summer with all this heat. So I'm really looking at my basement because one of the issues I'm running into is the grow tent that I want to get is going to be the same size as yours, Chump Change. But the beam that runs down my whole basement that supports my whole house is lower than the height of that grow tent.
Yeah.
So I really have to configure things differently down there if I do that. So I just go down there with my morning coffee and I just stare at the basement. I'm like, what am I gonna do here? And then
I've done that so many times.
Yeah, dude.
So many times. Like I can't even explain it. And I'm like, I just wasted like 2 hours staring at nothing.
Well, I think the warmer days recently really make you kind of like a little anxious. When recently it's been like a little warm and you're like, oh man, like I'm in the situation, like I'm holding off as long as I can to swap over my intake fans to make them exhaust and then just start pulling from my house for my ambient. Cause like all of a sudden one day it's like 65 in Pennsylvania and it's February and it's like, wait, what? Like I'm not swapping this over type of deal. I mean, my wife and I turned on the AC the other day for a brief time just because it got so warm in our house. I was like, I turned off the flux rig in the spare bedroom. And for the night, she's like, hey, can we turn this off for the night? And I'm like, yes, for the night's fine. That's okay. We got to be able to sleep. But yeah, it's definitely, I could see that as a big concern for you, just as like spring's going to come right around the corner. Are you thinking, what if you went with some smaller grow tents, like multiples?
I was thinking about that, but I have like 2 windows. I mean, you've been in my basement, so there's the 2 windows that I kind of want the grow tent to sit between, so I could have an intake from outside, which I've never done, and then an outtake right to outside. So I'm just like, I really only have space for maybe I could fit 3 8-inch ducts. Chump Change, I know in your basement, or do you have 3 8-inch that you can fit to go to outside?
In that window well, I actually can fit 4 side by side. So it's because I bought like I think they're 12-inch by 8-inch wide, maybe. And then there's 6-inch wide, then 8-inch round. That's what it is. And I could fit 4 of them side by side.
I think I can probably do 3 at max for myself. So I don't know. I don't know how that would work if I would like go into one tent and then from that tent into another tent. I don't know. But somebody
you might have to like split everything above it, kind of like Chump Change did with kind of like it comes to a splitter and then it goes in all different directions and vice versa. You might have to do that with some of that actually.
And then somebody gave me an idea because they do it in my Discord, and I was thinking about Chump Change because you built that custom grow tent a little while ago. They were like, hey, just like forget buying a grow tent and just put plastic sheets up in your basement to like section it off. And I was like, oh, it might not be as sexy looking, but that might not be a bad idea either. So anyway, long story short, what I'd like to do is get all of this settled now within the next month or 2. So I'm not like scrambling when my house is 150 degrees.
So an idea I just thought about when you were saying that kind of reminded me of Chump Change's deal. And because I've seen where your windows are, what if you literally built it sounds crazy, but a grow tent room out of 2x4 frames. Like you built a 8-foot by 8-foot room out of 2x4 frames, and then you literally like wrapped it almost like a greenhouse. You wrapped it, you staple it, whatever you gotta do, multiple layers, and then you do kind of what Chump Change did, like you cut into it, and then you use the glue gun with everything, and you type. I mean, you literally are built. I mean, you could build this kind of set up room right down there. That would probably be your best bet, and then you could build it to the layout of your height and all that types of stuff.
Yeah, I gotta figure something out. I gotta like dedicate a day to staring at it. That's when the best work happens. You guys know.
Hey, you know what? Just grab a case of beer. I'll be over, and we'll sit there and look at it together and just drink and think about it.
Oh yeah, you guys know how I do it. By the way, in the Red Fox channel, cheers. I'm drinking some scotch tonight. Cheers if anybody's drinking.
You even got them round ice cubes, huh?
He's sophisticated.
Fancy stuff. Mrs. Red Fox hooked it up tonight.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah. You guys buy any GPUs this last week? I don't know if you guys did.
I did not.
You guys are so scared of the merge, huh? Shaking in your boots over there.
Yeah, well, I actually just opened up my $3,000 electric bill, so I was like, oh, God damn it.
$1,700 for me.
Literally,
$1,700 for me.
It was like $3,000 and like 5 cents or something. It was
300.
Like,
300.
Dude, you know what? I was thinking of you, hobbyist, because I went shopping. Like, I was like, this electric bill, like, I got to do something. And I went and I looked. You know, I'm only a state over from you, and I looked and like, there's nothing that's cheaper than what I get right now. So I'm just
really?
like, yeah, I got to catch up with you offline a little bit, but like, I'm doing my price to compare for like the, you know, the what do I have? JCP&L, and like nothing beats it. That's competitive out there. So.
Yeah, I got super lucky. We'll go over that though, because like I when I was setting up selling Trump change, I set up my LLC's bank account today, and when I was chatting with the woman, she was looking at like the business title and stuff like that. She's like, "Oh, what do you do?" So I explained it. She's like, "Oh yeah, you know, everyone's got a friend." I'm like, "All right, sure, everyone's got a friend," but she's like, "Man, it's like it costs him $1,400 a month in electric," and I'm just like sitting there like $300. Hell yeah,
yeah, that's sick. We just got
Brian's gonna get timed out real quick. You see
what's he doing?
Fox? You seeing this?
Yeah, I see it. Brian Holly with the super chat here. Could all three of you please wear masks so we don't catch COVID in the chat? Love you, Chump Change XD. Chump Change, don't go fight him, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah, I like Brian. He's lucky. He's lucky. I like him. No,
he donated.
He did donate, so he was allowed to have the Pope.
You were talking about graphics cards. The one the last one I was actually waiting for was the one that I just got in the mail just the other day, actually, from a certain someone helped me out there, and that was my number 12 6600. So I'll be doing a build in the next 2 weeks of a 12 rig 6600. Yeah. So, but the prices. Somebody in chat actually asked about like our sanctions and everything going on in Russia affecting like prices and like. So I was just checking on Newegg because that's where I found a lot of the 6600s. Like they're just right there and available. And $449 for a 6600, that's still super competitive and good. So looking good so far.
Yeah, stuff is. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen like GPUs are becoming more and more available. Newegg I feel like Newegg hasn't done a shuffle in many days now.
Yeah, that's because of Gamers Nexus and all the BS that's been going on. I bet.
Yeah. Well, I follow. You know, hot take here, build a PC sales on Reddit, and that's where you can see all the deals. I follow it all the time, but like there's just regular non-combo cards popping up every day. Yeah. So I don't know if that's supply chain or because of mining demand going down with pricing, which definitely came back up today. It looked like ETH's at like 2,800 right now. And the merge fear of the merge coming up. So I think there's probably all those factors contributing, but yeah. Chump Change, you get anything?
No, I didn't buy anything. I literally have just been consumed with that LHR BS. We do have a question, though, in the chat. This was a little while back. It said, Red Fox, I have a 2080 non-super mining ETH at 45 mega hash. He said, with efficiency of 110 in LOL miner. Is that good?
What was the mega hash?
He said EFF. I assume that's efficiency. He said the mega hash is 45 and the temps are 120.
It's watts is 120.
Look.
Oh yeah, I can't pull it up because it'll mess up our video.
It'll mess it up.
Yeah, so it's a 2080. It has 45 mega hash. He said efficiency of 110 in LOL miner.
I don't know what that means.
Me neither. And temps 120. Yeah,
the temps 120. Your card's like melting right now.
I
feel like any 20 series card right now for people that I've seen, they're throwing them on flux. Like that seems to be because they do 100%. So well on it.
Yep. So, I have a non-super 2080. actually on Flux as well. You know, it's funny. I don't even know why I'm asking you that question. I should have just answered.
Yeah, just look at your own GPU.
I totally forgot I even had a 2080 actually. That's the only 20 series card I have. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I got rid of all mine.
I have the regular 2060 on Flux, and then I have my 2060 Super, which crushes it on Flux. It's at like 54 souls, which is awesome. And then I actually have a 2080 Super, but that's in my editing gaming rig that I throw up nice hash when I'm not using the computer, but other than that, that's it. I'm not using it dedicated or anything.
Are those 20 series cards? What do they do efficiency wise? Are they like a 0.4?
Yeah, they're actually pretty decent. Let's look here. I was just curious on that.
Because I know I've been as I've been testing like the 6600s, and I tested I have a video coming up on a 3080 12 gigabyte, and then I'm testing a 3070 Ti just for no reason right now. They're all like
for no reason.
Yeah, they're kind of like a 0.3, and I'm pretty sure like the 20 series cards do like a 0.4 in the efficiency on Flux.
Yeah, so the Super right now is at 53 souls at, now this is in Hive OS, just right off the bat. I don't recommend this. I push people a lot, but we'll just use this as our metric for today. It says 148 watts, so that's a 0.35 right now.
Yeah,
is where that's at. Now the power limit is at 150, so it's definitely up there. You know, you could knock that down to 140, maybe 135. But that's where the 2060 Super is right now. The thing is, the 2060 though is definitely not as efficient there. That one's a 0.28.
So my 2080 is getting 62.4 souls, 174 watts in the software. It says.
Nice.
What's the math on that?
Good.
Do the efficiency math on it. I need the numbers.
What was it? 60. What was it? What was it? 60. What was it?
It's called division.
62.4. And 174
I'm sorry.
watts.
Somebody interrupted the teacher. What was it? 60 what?
62.4 and 174 watts.
So you're at 0.35 as well. So you're pretty much exactly where that Super was. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's still beating all the newer generation GPUs from any of the testing I've done. Somebody just asked if I could pull a 3090 out of a hat going forward since of my magician video that I did.
Perfect.
Magic.
Yeah, and then we just got, so this is a 2060 Super in the chat, said doing 43.5 mega hash at 87 watts. I'm guessing that's on Ethereum, which is killer.
It has to be. Yeah. It has to be, yeah. The Flux algorithm requires more power. You can't get away with something like that. So I do curious though on your 3090s. So now that you have a rig with the 3090s, does it really make you go, should I just sell everything and just do 3090s? Like, have you considered that, especially based off of your heat and power constraints? Like, is there any like, do I do it at a really good time? You know, not now, but do you pick a time and then just kind of clear out?
I don't know. I'm always thinking, like when I was buying the A2000s today, which fingers crossed that everybody crossed their fingers in the chat that they actually ship. I was like, okay, cool. This is more GPUs that are really efficient that I could get rid of other GPUs. And the 3090s realistically aren't the most efficient GPUs. It's just like the amount of hash you get out of that for the density. Like I was like, I feel like when I built that rig, I was like, I feel like I could do anything.
Oh my god.
But I was like, oh man, this rig could just go solo mine anything right now and like have a shot at it. And it made me feel like this is really cool, just having this amount of hash power. What's funny is it does, so I have a 12 card 3070 rig and a 12 card mixed 3060 Ti 3070 rig, which is pretty much the same hash. They're like 720 hash. But for like 12 GPUs, I'm doing like the same more hash power in this 3090 rig with the Octominer. It's just like I've never had. You're
also
like
melting your wall plug.
Oh yeah. Dude, it's probably gonna it's the whole thing's gonna melt. I can't believe how hot my basement got so fast when I turned that thing on. Oh my god. But it's my first experience having that amount of hash in that dense of a space. And it feels really, really cool. But I'm always, to answer your question, I'm always thinking like, because I'm gonna hit a limiting factor at some point. So I'm always kind of thinking like, if I buy this, what does that afford me the ability to get rid of? Is kind of where I'm at right now. Instead of just add. I'm like, if I buy this, then I can get rid of this, while GPU resale value is still, in a good place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Makes
why I was
sense.
curious. So I was curious on that, just because of like density and limitations on space and limitations on power and heat. So that's why I was just really curious as to, you know, have you gotten to that point, especially with like now that you're looking at now that you have that 3090 rig, it's a big reality. I mean, I don't have a ton on Ethereum, but you know that rig alone is almost up to the amount I have on hash rate on Ethereum. So it's like holy, like that's insane, you know, to really think about and really grasp that concept.
Dude,
That's fantastic.
You know what somebody said in the chat that in the comment section of that video that actually made me sit back and go, "Oh my god!" They were like, "That's a car's worth of GPUs,"
Yes.
and I was like,
Yep.
"Whoa."
Not even a beater car. Like that's not even a beater car. Like that's like a pre-owned certified, you know, in some places, you know, like, yeah, absolutely.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, you guys know I'm super grateful to be able to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that just took me back for a second there.
Crazy. We actually had one more question that I saw a while ago. It's he said, question for you all. Do you have issues with your home insurance when mining, basically? Like when you go to sign up, like so I'll let you guys take that away. What do you think?
I think
so. Home insurance
go
is
ahead.
on my list. Yeah, home insurance is on my list. I actually haven't even explored it yet. I mean, I'm kind of finally now, as I've told many people, like my first year of mining was very questionable for me. Like, is this going to be legitimate? Same thing with YouTube. Like, are there legs, you know, under this? Now that I've hit that year mark as of 20 days ago, now I'm starting to take all those steps, you know, setting up, you know, business, LLC. Now, granted, a little different. Not every crypto miner needs to set up an LLC. Like you don't need to, you know, I don't recommend it. But I'm doing it only because of the YouTube content creation side and partnerships and contracts and all that types of stuff. Yes, the insurance side of it is definitely on my list. It's on my honeydew list for myself. It's like these are some of the things I need to accomplish, and one of those is home insurance, and it is doing it. I've heard a lot of people had a rough time though, because it's like, one, you have to have receipts for everything is like a big one, you know, from what I've heard. You know, when it comes down to like if you're doing any claims or anything like that, and it's like, well, crap. I mean, I've done now that after I set up my business, the LLC, I've of course kept everything, so I have all of that available to me. But since going back, I don't have receipts for everything. Do you guys have receipts for everything that you've purchased that you have?
Yes.
Oh, I hate you. Screw you.
No.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
So that's just kind of where some of that challenge is. I don't know. What about you? What about you, Red Fox? Have you done anything from the insurance side?
Honestly, no. But I'll say yes, but I haven't updated it. So like, you can do like a rider on your insurance for like you know, electronics and stuff and jewelry and all that. So I definitely did that in the beginning, but only when I probably had like 2.5 rigs, and I haven't updated it. Which I think is a really best practice for all of us. So I have to do that. It's on the never-ending to-do list, as you guys know how it is.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. So like, because I own another business, I have like equipment insurance for like, you know, stuff, but it's definitely not equating to the value that's right behind me right now. It definitely needs to be figured out and upped. I got to change it to my homeowner's insurance instead of being on that policy, because it just it covers it a little differently. It's still like in the overall, I guess, but it's not like, I really don't know if they would cover everything, if that makes sense, like with up to the amount that it's actually covered for, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that's definitely on my to-do list as well.
Cool.
And if you guys have any questions in the chat, please just at us so we can see.
I was just gonna say, let's do some heavy chat time. You guys want to I guess we'll just do at Red Fox Crypto, since we're on my channel, and we're gonna friggin' grind through some questions or anything you guys want us to discuss. Let's roll.
Good, man. Do it. We got.
So here's a good one for you, Red Fox. Came in. A question I have is, if you exchange one crypto for another, how does that affect your taxes? And I know you actually have a really cool way of tracking all of that, but how has that affected you in the past?
Is it affiliate link time? I think I'm throwing an affiliate link in there.
You're welcome.
But okay, so yeah, anytime you exchange a crypto for anything else is a taxable event. And if you guys need any kind of website. This is what I use for 4 years now to help you with all that. This is CoinTrack.info, totally affiliate link. I get a kickback if you guys use that, which I super appreciate.
Do it.
So just say you mined Ethereum, and then you convert, and then you were like, I really like Flux. I want to run a node, and you sold the Ethereum that you mined to Flux. That's a taxable event. So there's 2 taxable events that happen there in the US. There's one which is as you mined it, that's income. So you got to report it as income on your taxes. And you just pay, percent based on your income bracket. And then you're going to pay capital gains taxes when you exchange it for another cryptocurrency. So whether that's a gain or a loss, whether that's long-term or short-term, as soon as you convert it, you're going to pay on the either profit or loss that you made based on that. So at least here in the US, I know different countries can be doing different things. But yeah, make sure you track all that stuff, because that's how a lot of people get burned. And people got burned in the 2018 bull run, is they would buy or mine a ton of a crypto when it was at this huge high value, and then they would sell it or convert it and wind up owing, and then the market dropped, right? And they wound up owing like thousands, or even some people saw like tens or millions of dollars in taxes. But since the market dropped so much, now their net worth is so low that they had to file bankruptcy in order to pay their taxes. So all of that kind of stuff and all that learning that I went through the first year really informed all the decisions I made going forward.
Yeah. That's the one sticky part about like crypto, which is quite a challenge. Like it's not like a traditional like US dollar where a dollar is a dollar. Like it doesn't matter when it is, that value changes, and that makes it really rough and really sticky the way that I view it with tracking taxes for cryptocurrency.
We got a question here, and I know Chumtens, you got A2000s too, right? Yep. So the question was, A2000 resell worries. What are you going to mine after ETH with these GPUs? What do you think, Chump Change?
Zero idea. No idea. So, I mean, the next best thing or the next closest thing, is ETC. That's probably going to be somewhere I go. I don't know if it's going to be with those cards, but that's definitely on the agenda. Either that, Ergo, or, I mean, really, could be Ravencoin, but Ravencoin kind of sucks right now. So it's really just in the air at this point, to be honest. What about you guys? Or what about you, Mike?
I think about them kind of like I think about the FPGA, or maybe you like would think about an ASIC. It's just like, I'm just going to run it into the ground until it makes no money and just like take my chances on it, because like behind me in the videos, I have the Blackminer F1 FPGA. Like I knew when I bought that, I'm like, I'm just going to see. And like, if I can break even, and if I can break even, that's wonderful, because I believe in crypto and I'll hold the crypto that I mine with it. And then my belief is that in the future, this crypto that I mined and broke even with will be worth way more, and it'll have been worth it. So I think kind of the same thing with the A2000s. There'll probably be a small resale value versus like a FPGA or ASIC. But for me, it's just like, I'm just going to mine these into the ground, and it's a risk. But that's my mentality with it.
All right, what about Flux nodes? Someone asked you about that. Are you going to run a Flux node, or what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you guys.
Hell yeah.
I don't do any type of Flux noding, so I have no idea.
You will. Now you're mining Flux, man.
I just have one card on it.
It don't matter.
That's the only card I have mining Flux.
Dude, you're going to get there, man. I believe in you.
Do it.
Someday.
Do it. You can even do the tier one where it's like 5 Flux, that really, really low one where you can run it on like a Raspberry Pi or something. Like, absolutely.
Thing. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. So coming out next month, right? Is it?
I think it's March.
Yeah, they're starting the new batch of the new tiers for the Flux nodes. I don't know if I don't think March is the one where they offer the 5 Flux option, but I think that's like the second phase. There's 2 phases of the new Flux node rollout. So the upcoming phase in March is kind of what I have my eyes on. I know Mike has his eyes on too. But then their goal is like, we want everybody to be able to do this. So they literally set the bar at 5 Flux in order to set up your own node. Now, granted, your profitability is significantly less and such, but still, you know, they want everybody to be included, and I'm looking forward to it. I've been saving up my Flux at this point, and I am eager to get something. Definitely get a node going.
Yeah.
Are you going to run that on like a VM, Mike? Is that what you're thinking about doing, or what are you going to do with that?
I have one on a VPS right now, so I like to just do that because it's like $5 a month to run. But I know the requirements I think are changing for what you need to have as far as like horsepower behind that. So I gotta look over that. But it's gonna be sick. I have to like dive into it because that Flux project. I was saying to somebody the other day, that Flux project's moving faster than I can keep up with it with the amount of time I have.
It is.
But I run a node now. I will be running multiple nodes in the future based off of what the requirements changing. So I'm stoked on that project for sure.
Yeah, it's a great one. Here's one that came out more recently from Anthony Newton. Thoughts on the RTX 3060 Ti with the GA103 that's up for pre-order from China. So I don't know if you guys saw this. I was keeping up with it a little bit over on videocards.com. Did any of you guys see this new 3060 Ti GA coming out?
What is it? It's using the chip of some other GPU, like a better chip?
Yeah, I'll put a link right here in our conversation. Red Fox, you won't be able to see this. I'll put it in chat. I'll put it in the YouTube chat. People can see it. It does a good comparison of it. And you could see in there, if you scroll down, there's a column for the RTX 3060 Ti new. So this uses the GA103 versus the previous versions. The previous version used the 104. So it's similar in some, like the CUDA cores are the same and things like that. But it's got a few things that are a little different here and there. It's nothing astronomical. It's not like we're talking about like the new 2060, the new, 2060 that came out and stuff like that. So it's not that much of a difference. But to me, anything that's new and different and more supply, I'll take it at this point in time.
I have to interrupt. Chili showed up.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Red Fox.
What should we do? Should we end the stream?
Don't talk about him. Don't talk about him.
I was like, Chili, run. He says, why run?
He'll never know now. He has to go watch the whole thing.
No, now you have to rewind it. When we were muted, I think we were talking about this. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
All right.
Let's see what else. What else we got in there? Guys, hit us up at Red Fox Crypto. Any questions you got?
Fully Electric said, in the U.S., when mining whatever is on pool, you do not pay tax on. You only pay tax on the moment it sends from the pool to your wallet. Yeah, that's correct.
Yep. Yeah, when it goes in your possession. Okay. Oh, we got a super chat. I didn't see this from Charles. Tacos or burritos and why? Love you guys.
Oh, I know who this is. This guy is from my Discord. I always get this question from him.
All right. What is your answer?
It used to be burritos, but now I'm sold on tacos.
Soft shell or hard shell, man? Where you at?
Hard shell
tacos. Making a mess over
there. It's gotta be the Doritos Locos tacos. Those are bomb. All right, those are so good. The burritos remind me of like a dirty diaper. I can't do it. Like, it's just gross. I don't know.
You dad. You're such a dad.
What a dad.
Dude, yeah, I mean, the kids definitely ruined that one for me. So definitely no burritos.
Oh my gosh.
You, Mike?
I'm gonna go burrito. Chipotle burrito. I'm in.
Oh my gosh. Funny story about Chipotle, right?
Oh, here we go.
Me and the wife were driving to Lowe's, and she looks over, and there's a Chipotle in the parking lot of this PetSmart, right? She looks over at it. She's like, "Oh man, there's a lot of people in Chipotle," and I was like,
"Pocket change? What are you doing?"
I was like, "Chipotle," and she was like, "Is that what it's called?" And I burst out laughing. I laughed so hard. I don't think I've ever laughed that hard in my life. It was great.
All right, hold on.
You've never heard of Chipotle?
I got to do a poll. Burritos or tacos? Let's see. We're going to do this
poll.
Yeah, do it.
So while you're doing the poll, somebody in chat, BK Mendo, had asked, what is the difference between 8 capacitor and 10 capacitor risers? So there's actually been quite a few different versions of capacitors, even over the last year. And as time has gone on, they've gotten more and more capacitors on them. I'm no electrician, but I believe it is. I mean, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. The more capacitors has to do with like more stability, right? And you know, what don't they add something with like the reliability of them?
That's what I've been told. I don't freaking know though. Who knows? Probably the same thing.
Yeah, it's just more protection, I think. To be honest, I think that's all it is.
Give me that 86 capacitor riser. I'm gonna be. It's probably gonna be fine. Who knows?
I mean, at this point, a lot of the latest ones have 8 capacitors on it. It's like, how many more are you going to put on these
I
things?
don't know, man. My
Oh my
riser
God.
from like 7 years ago is working fine. I don't know. It's all fine.
Did you guys see that video of like the 4090 or whatever it was?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
spoof video. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The thing had like 1,000 fans on it. When you turned it on, it like blew the cup off the table. I died.
Oh my god! All right, GPU risers, get on that 86 capacitor riser.
Done.
Send them over. We're gonna be all set.
Oh my gosh. I gotta find that video and link it in the chat because that was the funniest thing ever. The wife's like, you have to watch this. I'm like, oh my god, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, that was good. I remember that.
All right, let's see. We'll take all of this. Will you guys? This is from DJ Mines, my hero of all time. Will you guys be getting more ASICs? Chump Change, you got what? The older Bitcoin S9 or something like that?
Yeah, I got the S9 for like $150 from somebody in like the community, and I was like, yeah,
Nice.
I'm like, that's cool. I just literally paid for shipping more or less. But yeah, dude's awesome. I mean, the thing sucks. It runs like super inefficient. But I mean, when Bitcoin or if Bitcoin gets to like 6 figures, you know, then it'll be profitable again, and I'll be pumped to have it. But I've actually been thinking about running the thing on my generator just to get the friggin' payout because you have to have 0.05 and I'm at like 0.01 and it took me like 2 weeks. I'm like, no, I'm not running this thing anymore. I'm not doing it.
Not worth it.
No,
Not
it's
worth
not
it.
at all. But what about you guys? What do you think about ASICs? I know the hobbyists, you're going to be getting some or one, right, at some point?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the one group. We've been chatting about it back and forth. I'm waiting for an agreement to come through to finalize it at this point. I hit them up and we're still looking good. So I'm waiting on that. I'm chatting with another group about a second ASIC that might be coming through. And then I guess the Jazz Miner qualifies as an ASIC, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I guess it
qualifies.
I mean,
Jazz Miner.
oh no, really? So the Jazz Miner is an Ethereum ASIC miner. It's a 1U server rack ASIC miner. So it's like this thin and it's really long. And they're meant for like server racks and stuff. All right. Hey, sounds good. Yeah, take a look at it. It does. They do like they do like 500 mega hash for like barely any watts.
So
Like,
well, I
what
guess
algo is it?
at hash.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird. I'm going to look it up. All right. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think the thing we all now have because you guys peer pressured me into it is the Doge miners. Those are technically ASICs, right? Little
You
mini
got
ASICs.
one?
Yeah, I got
that one.
It's still in the box. Dude, it's still in the box because I don't know. I don't have any time, but yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And my answer to this question beyond the Doge is if you send me an ASIC for free, I will get an ASIC.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
What the hell is that thing called? A Jazz Miner?
I put it in our chat and also there. So the reason they're so attractive is like the Jazz Miner X4. Somebody literally in my Discord got one, did a YouTube video on it, like really detailed. I'll have to send it to you, Mike. And it actually comes in like underclocked, and in it has different clocks that you can boost it up.
I know.
Oh, you know.
I know. That thing's gonna be a beast.
$7,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you ready? You ready for this? It does 520 mega hash, and the watts 23 watts.
No.
Plus or minus.
What did you say?
Oh no, that's a little device. Sorry. Where is it? Sorry. Where is it? Where's the stat? I that was like this little device that comes with it. I'm trying to find the exact stat.
All right, we'll come back to you. You're gonna struggle through
go.
using the
240 watts.
Yeah, for how many mega hash?
520. 520 mega hash.
And that's not at optimal settings yet either.
But it's also only a 5 gigabyte.
Yeah, well, ETH's going away, so whatever. Grind it out, see what happens.
Go into Ethereum Classic. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, let's see what else. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh man.
I mean, it's cool because it is tiny. I give you that.
It's the wattage.
Yeah, it's like rack
and
mounted.
the wattage. I mean, for my situation, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, it would.
That's just a lot of freaking money to throw out for like.
Yep, it is.
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
dude. I mean,
That's the only reason I can't do it. It's the only reason I haven't bought ASICs. I'm just like, I'll buy 10 friggin' $900 cards. I won't buy a friggin' ASIC. Like, no logic.
Dude,
at all,
you know what I was thinking about today? Because obviously this last couple of weeks has been so many opinions, both from like what Vitalik said and people in the space have said about Ethereum's like merge getting delayed.
Right.
Potentially, I wonder what that causes. Like if the ETH devs come out and say December is the new target, you know, do we see those Jazz Miner and ASIC ETH prices go boom through the roof again? Are GPUs hard to get again? Like, I'm really curious to see what happens. And from what BBT said, like mid-March is go time one way or the other,
because they have to do the code lock.
Yeah.
So if they don't do it, they do a code lock for like 3 to 4 months. So if you don't hear anything, then it's like, all right, it's prolonged. So everybody, I think at this point is just kind of riding it out. Like, all right, we're just waiting for when that code lock's going to occur. But apparently there's been no code locks for any of the different phases. There's like a checklist. Nobody has submitted anything to code lock it yet. So
yeah,
I think we got time. So you were talking about your Dogecoin miner. You haven't set it up yet.
Nope, still in the box.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. I literally was gonna buy one. Was it yesterday or the day before they had another sale? And I was gonna buy another one, but I was like, I got 3. I'm good.
But
tax season's here.
How much does that? How much does that thing make a day? Like 50 cents, I think I saw. Like how much does that thing make?
My 3 of them. I gotta check my payouts, but between all 3 of them, without electricity, I think I'm making $7 every 4 days, 3 days.
Yeah. All right.
Based with all 3 of them in place, because I'm just looking at my payouts on my wallet and just looking to see like, okay, my wallet, and that's just Dogecoin. That's not even Litecoin. That's just like $7 in Dogecoin every 3 to 4 days. So it's not terrible. I mean, it's not amazing because you don't see Doge going super crazy, but even if it doubles in price, it's a home run.
Here's one I think that applies to all of us is around essentially the Octominers. Would you recommend an Octominer server case over open air rigs? Chump Change, what do you think?
100%. The only downside to the Octominer personally is obviously the shipping cost and the minimum quantity. So once a quarter, when they actually sell them, you know, individually, they like do it for like a weekend once a quarter. So if you can get it during that time, probably going to be more beneficial to you if you're not like a huge miner. But the good part about it is you can actually pay with Ethereum, so you don't have to like take USD out of your pocket to go do it. You could just use your rewards to ship right to them. So that, you know what I mean? That's why I like them. What do you guys think?
Good hobbyist.
100%. Putting the minimum quantity order requirement aside, just like, hey, one for the other. I 100% wish I came across Octominers like quite some time ago. Right. It's so nice being able to take something, pop open the case, throw in your GPUs, power it up, and off you go. And I spent so much time as at the very beginning of I still consider myself like a newbie, but opening up, like, spent so much time dealing with like hardware compatibilities, motherboards, you know, all that. Let's just like trying to do it. It's like
perfect new person thing.
It really is. There's actually my electrician actually was in chat I saw earlier. And he's obsessed with the scene now. It's really funny. So like, he really didn't know anything about crypto. And when he came over for the first time and we were chatting it out and he saw everything I was doing, he was like, this is awesome. So we actually traded, like we bartered. I will teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can build your own crypto mining rig. We'll sit down, bid on your own if you help me out with my electrical. And we did it. But now he's like, all he does at work is throw all of us on and listen to us all day long. So it's like awesome. Yeah. And but he's trying to get into it. And as a really new person, I actually recommended an Octominer. I'm like, if you can get one, like, it's perfect for the new person. You're literally like, it's hands free. You don't have to worry about it. So and think of it, your cooling's taken care of. You got reliable hardware. It just works, which is really nice. But the hard part is that minimum quantity. So he started to look elsewhere because he's like, I want to buy one, and I don't have a date as to when I can buy the minimum quantity. Maybe that's the avenue Octominer goes, is like they do it once a quarter, but publicize that date. Like, all right, I'll wait 6 weeks because that's when I can get it, versus he's already looking at alternatives because he's like, I'm not waiting.
just to add to that, they do have Miner Dude, which is more or less a partner with Octominer, so they're somewhat affiliated with them. You can purchase one at a time. It's US based.
They're more expensive though. They're more expensive overall.
Yeah, they're a little more expensive, but I think the shipping's less, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, it is US, so
imagine they're getting them from Octo and they're passing some of that shipping costs over to you.
Yep. They're more or less getting them from Octominer, and they look like they're getting a makeover into their own branding, and then they're sent to, what I mean? But they do look sweet. If you guys look at them, they're amazing looking.
Yeah.
One of the things I was talking to somebody about the other day was just like, why right now, like all of a sudden server cases seem to be really popular. Right? First of all, like all of us got sent server cases to do videos on. So just know that 100%.
Yep.
So like you guys know, like being totally transparent with you. Right. But beyond that, there's two other things I was really considering. One is the introduction of GDDR6X memory. And so there's something to be said when I was thinking about doing my 3090 build. I don't have to open every single card up and replace thermal pads on it. I can just slot them in a server case, and it's going to blast enough cool air through that I don't have to worry about thermal throttling. And that's just server cases will do that job 100%. The second thing I thought of, which is absolutely probably unique to us as content creators, is there's something to be said about the time you save just slot, and maybe for anybody, just slotting a GPU in a server case and everything else is already there versus like wiring up a whole rig. I'm like, when I was doing the Octominer, I was like, man, are my days of like building a rig from scratch with like building Veta frames that take 45 minutes, like do I want to go back to that, or do I just want to do this for now on and save myself time, which is so limited? So those are the two things I think about. One, probably pretty personal to us as content creators, and the second, probably just cause and effect of GDDR6X memory coming out. That's it.
Yeah, well, look at somebody like Red Panda. He's converting to all of those. It saves time and effort and better at cooling, like all of that. Density is much smaller. So yeah, I can agree that may be the new norm. The new norm may be the server cases, which is not bad. I mean, the server cases, as long as they're competitive price wise when it comes down to the hardware, which at the end of the day, it kind of is. Like I always tell people, like when somebody's like, hey, can you give me a rough budget? I'm like, all right, probably like $800 is good before you get into GPUs. Like if you're looking for like a bigger, bigger, beefier motherboard and power supplies and everything like that, it's like, well, okay, so add a few bucks more for a server case, whoever it is, Octominer or not, and you're kind of there. And it's like, but it's all in one, so it's done for you. So that's the kind of society we're in nowadays, though. We want everything kind of handed to us. So if we can get it ready to go and least amount of effort necessary, we'll take it.
Yeah.
The only thing I wish I did was buy them like 3-4 months ago and then literally just part out everything. Like I could have sold the H110s for a whole bunch of money.
Yep.
Could have sold everything for a whole bunch of money. And then realistically, all the money I would sell all that stuff for would pay for the Octominers, and it would just be a better scenario for me personally. But it's my luck.
The other thing that I'm thinking about, and Alejandro just brought this up in the chat, is let's see how they do in the summer. And I feel like they're going to do so well because it's such a direction of airflow, versus an open air frame is like air, like the heat is coming off the cards in so many different ways. Right. Now it's just really directed. So I feel like you could even do better with a grow tent setup potentially, or hobbyists in your setup. Or anything else. I've seen a couple people have sent me some pictures of their setups where they have just server cases and they built like a custom setup, and it's just cool air's coming in one side of stacked server cases and hot air's expelling out the other, and it just feels so simple that it's just got to be a better solution, I think.
So when I was doing the live stream with DJ Mines the other week, we were talking about his shed, and like he wasn't really sure how he's going to design it yet. Which I think that entire project of him doing that shed is so cool. Like I'd love to be in that situation like he is. But I had linked him a guy, and I still don't remember the name. I'll have to find the YouTube channel. But inside the shed, the guy built a wall and split the shed in half, and he did exactly what you're talking about with his ASICs and some of his like server cases. It is a wall made of insulation, like the hard padding, and everything gets slotted in. So he has a cold side in the shed and a hot side.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh my gosh, that makes life so much easier. Like it is reality. I think eventually we're going to get to that point where like we're going to have to consider those types of options to exhaust some of this heat. But yeah, just like you said, a server case makes that possible. An open frame rig does not make that possible.
Right.
You can't really create true cold and hot sides without a server case. You can kind of like what Chump Change does in his grow tent, but that's not true. You know, like you have a lot of heat soak and stuff like that as well.
Right.
I'm ready to quit YouTube because Bitsby Trippin is in our live chat. So
That's why I put my finger up to.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
I was gonna cut hobbyist off.
I quit. Not gonna get better. What's up, Bitsby Trippin? Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it.
The Godfather.
The OG. Oh man. This is actually, since we're talking about Octominers, Chili just said, so if you guys saw my 3090 build, I couldn't get the support bar because of lined up because the 3090s are too tall. So he just said that they're fixing that on the next version of the X12. So as well as having fittings for the Founder Edition 3090s, which don't screw into the case. Ooh. So that's really cool, Chili. Thanks for letting us know. So that'll be a cool update for the X12 Octominers going forward.
I wonder if you influenced that based off your video.
I was like, this doesn't fit. I don't know what to do.
But I'm watching your video. I'm watching your video, and I'm like, he's just gonna leave it. He's like, you can't do it.
Friction fit. It's the best fit.
Yeah. Friction fit. That's insane.
That's awesome.
You guys see anything else in there? Chat.
Super chat. Actually, you didn't answer. Is Benzie 310 is $4.99 super chat. He said, "Do you think PlayStation 4 will be able to mine soon now that it can run on Linux?" I didn't even hear that, so I have no idea.
Dude, I don't know.
I have seen some of these individuals do that with some of these console systems due to just availability. I think that really comes down to the hash rate versus cost, like the price. Like, what are you paying and what are you getting out of it? And then what exactly can you mine? You know, those are kind of all the things. Like, I feel like those are the situations where you're probably going to be mining these obscure algorithms, and what is your true profitability going to be and your cost up front? It's like, what are we doing there? Are we just, so I don't know. But if somebody is more knowledgeable, I'd love to hear more about it. I'm not going to be going out buying them, but like if somebody's like, yeah, I have 12 of these PlayStation 4s and I'm mining Ethereum on it.
God.
Like I love to hear about it though, because I think that's a really cool project.
Chili says you're 100% the reason that is getting fixed. Thank you.
Nice.
This is one I can answer. Is it true that the 3080 Ti's suck in dual mining modes? I don't think so. And I just pulled it up to take a look, and my 3080 Ti's are currently dual mining Ethereum and Toncoin, and they're doing on ETH anywhere between 72 to 85 mega hash, and then on Ton around 2 gigahash. So, I mean, I think that's doing pretty well, and I'm just using the Ethereum clock, so I don't think so. I think they're doing nice. I think they're doing nice. What else? Guys, just we're going to go, I think, a little bit longer here. We're almost at an hour, but anything you would like to hear us chat about or anything on your mind, just at Red Fox Crypto in the chat.
Real quick, I am dual mining Ethereum.
Okay, nice.
Ethereum on my 3080 Ti, and I'm getting 72 mega hash on Ethereum, and then 473 on Ethereum, whatever that means, and then it's at 216 watts. So, I mean, it doesn't seem bad to me.
No, it seems like what it would do around on ETH, and then you're picking up some extra.
Yeah.
So, question here. I think it's a good one. This one comes from Cool Buster. What is the most efficient GPU you have in your farm right now?
Chump Change, you go first.
Sorry, what was it? The coolest GPU?
Yeah, the coolest. No. What one is just like so cool? You're like, man, look at that GPU.
Not that
GPU
cool,
is cool, man. Look at that RGB.
What did you say? I hate when he throws it to me. I'm like reading something else. I have no idea what you even said.
You know who's not paying attention during class? The question was, what GPU in your farm is the most efficient?
Most efficient. Mine is the A2000. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean so the 6600 XTs though, man, like they are stupid efficient. Like they really are. And if I honestly, if I built a full rig of those a lot sooner, I think I may have kind of tackled more of those as I was kind of growing, if that makes sense. What about you guys?
For me, it's the 6600s.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was just the normal non-XTs.
Yeah, dude.
Correct.
I gotcha.
Correct.
I think.
Yeah, I don't have any of those, so I can't even compare.
Those
so nice.
I think they're mine too. Like they are, as at least on ETH, right? I think they're the best that I have. The only other mining thing that's better that I have is the FPGA. But I think
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I think they're the king on efficiency on ETH, which is everybody wrote them off in the beginning. So yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Right. Chili just said, this is a question for all of you.
Okay.
He said, are you mining on Flux? And if so, what % of your farm is mining it? And what are your plans for it?
Chump change, what are you, 0.05% of your farm?
So I have 5 gigahash and 1 GPU on Flux.
Going big. Going big.
What about you, hobbyist?
Yeah.
I'm actually at about 25% now on Flux. I have a number of rigs on it now. And after I build my 6600 rig in the next 2 weeks, that's where my purchases are actually going to be at. So I'm actually going to be targeting more Flux-based purchases versus Ethereum-based purchases. I just think, based off my farm size, based off of decisions, the habit, or when ETH goes ahead and merges, whenever that is, I'm like, what can I get ahead of? Instead of like riding the coattails of Ethereum, instead of like, I'm going to buy more graphics cards now to try to get as much ETH as I can. I'm going to do more of a, let me get graphics cards that are going to mine Flux ahead of the curve. Now, especially with the parallel assets, it's like, man, the more Flux you can mine, the more hash rate you can throw at Flux now before additional parallel assets drop and those snapshots occur, the better. So, what about you, Red Fox? What are you at now?
I got nothing mining Flux, but you guys know I mined Flux for a long time. So I run a node
You're
now.
sitting on a nice little honey pot. Little honey pot of Flux.
I'll be okay.
Right,
don't worry about me.
You'll be okay.
We got a couple of super chats come in, and I don't know if you guys, we've talked about this a little bit before, but I don't know if you guys have taken the time to do some research, thoughts on Aletheum kind of as a project. I did a video on it, and that was it. I really didn't look into it much. Have you guys looked into it? Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't even know what it's for. I like it.
I don't even know how to say the thing.
Not a clue. I haven't checked the wallet at all. I don't know how much I have. I don't even know if it's working. I just am doing it. I had Rondi set it up, and that was it. I'm
Could be mining somebody else's wallet right now.
I have no idea. What about you, hobbyist? You look into that at all?
No, I haven't even jumped on dual mining yet. Like, I have been so busy with just everything with day-to-day work life and with content. I just haven't had the time to even get into dual mining. I mean, I definitely think it's worth it. Like 100%. You guys have done some fantastic videos. You two, I know Seb has a great video. I know Red Panda has a great video. Like, there's some really good videos out there on it. And I'm just like, I'm not touching that right now. Like, I don't have the time for it, so I'm not going to bother with it. But anything that's going to make you a few extra bucks, I think is awesome. I'm just hoping that project doesn't flop, and then it's like, it's another dual mining coin that went nowhere. But hey, if you can mine it and sell it, or mine it and hodl it, it doesn't bother you, go for it.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the other day, I had this like dream of like, what if I wonder how much extra power I'd be using if I switched everything over to dual mine. Like is it worth that risk? I was thinking about that. A couple more super chats come in. I can answer this one. So I don't know if you guys saw this. The FPGA, the C1100 did the video on. The lead time moved from 5 weeks to 50 weeks.
That's your fault.
Yeah, that's 100% your fault.
Yeah, right. Dude, you know what annoyed me a little bit? And I guess I could have been clearer, but this is just that people were like, thought it was a sponsored video and they were giving me some grief on it. I was like, I bought that thing with my own money. Like, I'm not sponsored.
I remember when you got it.
I thought this would be fun, but okay. But
there are so many haters. It drives me insane. I'm like, why can't
take
people
it easy,
just
chump change? I know
how
you feel.
It drives me nuts, man. I'm like.
But the question was, would you buy more at a 50-week timeline. I absolutely not. I would. That is a year. It's a year away. There's so much that can change in the space from then. So
they were selling one a month before you made that video, so it was like we're not even producing these right now. They all watching like, oh crap! Yeah, they even have a limit here of 20.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. That's insane.
Crypto influencer.
You absolutely ruined that site. Like they're happy and pissed they have this problem.
Oh man.
I got nothing from that, for the record. I just was a miner making a fun video.
That's crazy.
Good for you.
I thought this was maybe a... Oh my god, dude. Bits, are you out of your freaking mind,
Drake's on
dude?
me this weekend, my dude.
Good stuff, Bits.
Bits, I can't wait for us to do Mining Roundtable live at one of your many locations one day, man. That'd be an honor.
Cool.
That would be an honor. Thank you so much, dude. None of us would be here without you, so appreciate you.
For real.
I could go on for a half hour, but I'm not
I always give him a little praise. I always like to tell people the story. So when I had him on Meet the Miner, which I haven't done one of those in a while, him and I jumped on. We did the Meet the Miner, and like it just went forever. But like it was a lot of fun. He was completely respectful, and like I was like messaging as we're doing it. I'm like, let me know when you got to go. He's like, no, we're good. So then we stopped. So then we stopped the recording. Him and I chatted for another hour. Like just chatted. Like it was awesome. The fact of like how down to earth the guy is, and just way more knowledgeable. Like I don't know how he fits it all in that head of his, because it's ridiculous. But it was really cool. Like a very down to earth guy. He is exactly the same way when he is in his videos as he is like just off camera, just chatting. So a real genuine guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's sick. Maybe I know we're probably a little over an hour now, so maybe we'll end on this one. TPS Miner sent in this question. I thought it was a good forward-thinking question, and it was, what are your goals over the next 3 months? So I don't know who wants to kick us off. If there's anything burning in your brain.
Change.
Yeah, chump change. We're just gonna always make you go first.
For me, it's really getting the grow tent to be 100%. So it's running good. It's there's really no issues yet, but I could see some cards getting hot. So it's really going to be a lot of maintenance. Like I have to take apart my 5600s. Those are really like starting to cook. Basically, the thermal pad's definitely gone on into the mech version, so I know they suck. Then I have I got to water block that 3090 still. I haven't done that, so I got to build the whole water build PC. That's on the agenda real soon. And actually, these fan clips for the white Zotacs, I just 3D printed these to put 120 millimeter fans on them instead of like the actual shroud, because those black fans, as I was recording, I don't have it here, but literally one of those things came flying out at me and it scared the crap out of me. I was like, oh my god, what was that? And I realized it was one of the fans. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like these things are already all going. It just Zotac completely botched this 30 series. It's just killing me. But I'm going to try to replace all of those to 120 millimeter GPU risers fans. So we'll see what they look like with the white ring lights on them. Nice. What about let's go to Mike this time instead of making you last. Let's go to you second.
Yeah. I got to figure out the grow tent like heat situation. That's my number one priority over these next 3 months. Yeah, I think that's it as far as like here in my space. And then I'd also like to I've talked about this, I think on previous mining roundtables, in a place where like everything's just built and running, and there's not like this feeling of like, oh, I got GPU sitting around, and then I can have some fun doing some other things. So I'd love to get to that space where there's just not this like weight on me of like stuff I have to do. So I'm really thinking about that. It'd be really nice to get there over the next 3 months. But that's really it. Trying to keep it as simple as possible. Figure out heat and figure out how to like just get ahead a little bit in mining and YouTube stuff. Over to you, hobbyist.
Yeah, I mean, for me, really just wrapping up this basement project over the next 3 months would be awesome. Just allow me to focus on other things. You know, that's kind of the back of my mind. I was telling Chump Change before we started, like everything I have is on wheels because I'm constantly moving it, working on the basement and stuff like that. So it'd be great to put that behind me. And that's one less project that isn't entirely mining focused. that I could get back to and work on. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. Outside of that, I do want to start to dabble into like other items like ASIC mining and stuff like that, based off of some conversations with other partners and things. I think that'll be great. I probably will slow down a little bit on the GPU purchases, only because of the fact of like anticipations for summer. Like this is my first summer with my mining room. So it's really going to be like, okay, let's see how this does type of deal. Theorizing the fact of swapping all my intake fans to exhaust, and then that whole room is exhaust with my door being the intake set up the way I'm looking to do it. I don't know how it's going to work out. Could be an absolute nightmare and I'm back to a grow tent. Or it could work out well. I mean, the nice thing is I'm going to beef that room up to almost 5,000 CFM. So that should hopefully do the trick a little bit. But we'll have to see. So I think it's just prepping for summer and closing out some projects. I do like what you said there, Red Fox, regarding the fact of like getting to a point where you don't have things to build. And now it's like sustaining and kind of focusing on some other things. I think that'll be awesome.
Heck yeah. Any other final thoughts from you guys as we wrap up this evening?
I just want to touch base real quick on Chili said they don't announce publicly when they actually do the like individual sales for the Octominers, but he said the last 2 days of March will happen. So
that's publicly.
There you go. That's pretty public to me.
Yeah, I know.
I guess they don't.
I guess they don't
announce
it on the. Yeah, I don't know. That's. I just wanted to let you guys know because someone asked that when they're doing it.
Okay.
And yeah, so
thank you, Chili.
there you go.
Awesome.
Thanks for the inside info. You heard it here first on the Mining Roundtable, episode
That's
10.
it. So we're going to sell those out just like the FPGAs, all right? You guys better hurry up. Going like hotcakes.
All right, guys, and that's going to do us for this evening, episode 10, Mining Roundtable. Thanks for Chump Change XD and Hobbyist Miner for having a great discussion tonight. Thank you all for being here, supporting the live chat. We had like 250 people here, which is absolutely incredible. So I think you guys have shown us this is something you enjoy, and probably something we'll look forward to doing more of in the future, as well as we've talked about having some guests on this, some other amazing people in the crypto mining and content creation space. So stay tuned for that and everything else, I'm sure, coming up on our channels and all of our social media this coming week. But for myself, Chump Change, and Hobbyist Miner, I hope you have an amazing weekend, amazing week ahead, and please take care of yourself, take care of each other, and we'll see you in the next Mining Roundtable. Peace, everybody. Say peace.
Peace.
Oh, we got a peace, Adam. All right, enjoy the tunes on the way out.
Proof of work. Proof of work.